another opponent to the schedule or tries to reschedule that game with Elon?
I think it's huge that game happens for multiple reasons. Anytime, one, that you are as young of a team as Carolina is, I think having true game experience and growing together as a team and just learning, I think that's huge. So that would be, I think, very valuable experience, especially for the freshmen. Early in the season, we talked a lot about the importance of stacking wins. No game is a given, but I think that we all agree if they play Elon, that is a good chance to stack a win against a team that they should stack a win against. And obviously, you always want to have, positive stretches of good momentum. If that game does not happen and there is not another opponent that feels that, Anthony alluded to it, but then all of a sudden you're going to Iowa, you're going neutral site to play Ohio State, and then you're into the ACC, which you start 4 or 6 on the road. So all of a sudden, your time at the Dean Dome is quite limited, and you're going to have to grow up very quickly to get at a competing level that Carolina is used to.
I think, Mark, you brought up a good point that slipped my head, is that if they don't play that game, Carolina's not going to play back home in the Smith Center until ACC play. That's a long time for a team that's adjusting to playing basketball in the COVID era, where you don't have fans, you don't have people, cheering for you or this, that, and the other that you normally have. So I think Carolina, I think Roy Williams will be as adamant about making the game happen as much as possible, because it's an in-state school. Those games mean a lot to him, but mainly socially because he knows his team needs that kind of game to get better, to work on their stuff. And so I think Carolina, like we saw with Mac Brown in the football program, I think they will exhaust every possible possibility to either reschedule the game or find another opponent to come play in Chapel Hill. So with that, fellas, we're going to go ahead and shut down this podcast. Before I let you go, we'll talk to you about the website, HeelToughBlog.com. The night that we were recording, we've got you covered. All things from Maui. I wrote 3 Marlowe's Musings articles of all 3 individual games. Mark wrote a recap. All that's available on the website. And when we get closer to the Iowa game, we'll get you ready with a preview and a recap article as well. On the football side of things, Carolina is at home for Senior Day this Saturday against Western Carolina. We'll have you covered from top to bottom on that game. Anthony has got the preview article and the podcast up. You can, and then in the with the post game, you'll have the recap, my trench report, and the stock report. All that will be coming out on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So make sure you get over to the website, HeelToughBlog.com, to get all the great Carolina football and basketball content. And lastly, we encourage you guys to like, review, and subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on every major podcasting platform. Most earlier on Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, TuneIn, Pandora, Google Podcasts. Give us a like. Review me as the host. Review Anthony and Mark when they come on and co-host with me. Most importantly, we encourage you guys to subscribe. That way you get every new edition of the Royce Boys podcast in your podcast feed. Well, with that, I want to thank Anthony and Mark for coming on, talking a little Carolina basketball late at night on a Thursday. I want to thank you guys for listening, and as always, go Tar Heels.